haunting since time began. Raw side paranormal seeks the truth, looking for some kind of real proof. Creepy floorboards and eerie dark mist. Grab your camera and document this. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the wrong side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadow hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. The icy air touches your neck. You feel like screaming, but you stay in check. Orbs rising up to take the magical flight. You can't believe what's happening tonight. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Raw Side Wednesday. Welcome to the show, guys. Let's see who's come to hang out with me and Miss Leanne. You guys must have guessed it. That's who's coming on to hang with us tonight. And we've got Raven who's going to be lurking. Lurk away, sweetie. Welcome, welcome. Miss Betty, how are you doing? So be careful out there with those storms. We're supposed to get something later too here. So hopefully it holds off until the show's over. You know, I don't want any kind of technical difficulties. Keep our fingers crossed. How's it going there, Miss Pinky? Hello, hello, Janice. And let's see who else. Leanne. Leanne's here? Oh, yeah, she's here. Hey, Pop, how's it going? Yes, the mystery guest. Hello, Alexis. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Did I get everybody? And I hope so. If not, oh, there's Joe. Hi, Joe. Welcome in. Joe Beans. Good to see you here. No time to run unless naked across Leanne's land. I know that's the goal. Naked across Leanne's. we'll get arrested or we'll get shot with something. I don't know. Should we take the chance? Hello, Ozzy. Welcome in. So, and Sir Pop is here as well. Welcome in, everybody, and all the lurkers. Hello, hello. Let's bring Leanne on instead of making her wait back in the the Neverlands there. There she is.
Not it.
Nah, she's not it. How
Didn't
you doing,
do it.
sweetie?
Get off my lawn, Pomp.
See, I'm not the only one that gets it. So how are you and what are you up to? Trouble?
I'm good. I'm sitting here on this show at the moment. Clueless.
That's all right. That's all right.
No, I'm okay. I'm good. Yeah, well, after, we arranged this like a few days ago. Then that night I couldn't sleep. I was all excited.
Oh.
So then a few minutes ago, I was like, oh my God, what did I sign up for?
Just a general chat. That's all. Yes, the guest shouted at you.
Yes, Pomp. My apologies for shouting at the guests. The guests are always right.
So, yep, that's it. You're a target now. Stay off the lawn. See, oh, Joseph's not bad, but better pain today. Oh goodness, take care of yourself. I know everybody's having such hard times. This weather is just kicking people's butts.
A lot of people are sick. A lot of people are stiff and sore.
Yeah, just it's weird. And this is what I read an article today about that. We're going to be dealing with a super El Nino this summer. That is not good. So, I mean, you were already telling me earlier, Leanne, that you're worrying about your pond. It's drying up. Hopefully, you get some kind of rain to fill it up. I mean, do you use it for your birds?
Well, I do sometimes pump water out there for irrigation, but it's more like it's my indicator of how dry things are. And at this point, it should be, it's not a huge pond, but it should be close up to the brim, and it's down to about half level.
Ooh, right.
We haven't gotten the rain that we usually get, so it's looking at like a dry summer.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. With that super El Nino, that thing is going to be very hot and dry. So then that makes you worry about like wildfires. They're going to be a big issue with wildfires this year. Jeez, I hope not. I mean, just what was it? Was it last year or year before, the bad ones in Canada?
Yeah, about every year somebody gets it. And I live on a farm, and I already told the people on the farm that we have about a month's time to get all the grass cut down and everything cleared off. After that, we can't, it'll be a fire hazard, and we can't mow it because the mowers could give off sparks to start fires. So I've told them we need to get on it, but I'm just not as bossy in real life as I am online.
Oh, crack the whip, Tom, let's go. So yeah, that's the scare. And of course, we don't worry about it too much here up on the mountain, because the Adirondacks, it's all pine trees and it's moss covered ground, so it's usually pretty damp. But they still do a control watch and make sure, if it gets too dry, then they tell you no fires, just to be on the safe side. Because people are careless, you know how it is. They have a campfire and then they don't put it out, or they're just careless with them. I'm paranoid when it comes to campfires. Even in my own backyard, when we have a fire, I make sure that it's soaked before we even come back upstairs, because that one little spark takes off on the wind and sets somebody's yard on fire. I don't want to be responsible for that. So I couldn't imagine, being on the farm, you've got a lot of tall grass and it's dry, and so yeah, that's scary.
Excuse me, had to try to rearrange myself.
That's all right. Adjust away. So, well, we're gonna guys, ask questions. Any questions you want? I'm sure Leanne doesn't mind answering questions. We'll keep her on her toes. What makes you? My question is, what made you get into the paranormal community? Room for more.
There's your answer. 2 belches. Yes. They always happen at inopportune times. The YouTube paranormal community, or in general?
The paranormal community. What made you interested in being a part of the community? Hey, Jimmy, welcome in.
Yeah, hi, Jimmy. Well, if you've seen any of my videos, the ones not about cats, well, I've experienced paranormal since I was a small child. And for the most part, I just kind of got along with it or ignored it or whatnot. I guess the ghost shows on TV about 10 years ago. got me interested in maybe investigating things. And then just watching YouTube videos and everything, and not this specific paranormal community per se, but watching a lot of videos and getting really fed up with. I'm a big person on culture and history, especially like prehistory, and seeing these people so far off on, well, the cultural side of it.
Right.
That one of my biggest things that I frequently say is, seeing a skinwalker in New York is like seeing a Loch Ness monster in the Mojave Desert.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
So that's what got really started spurring me on to do a channel to hopefully correct some things that are sort of cultural debunker per se of, mostly it's like the creepypasta stories and things like that, where, people talk about things and what they're talking about is what they've seen on Hollywood, but not what's really in the actual lore.
Right. Well, yeah, they've got to spruce it up, for ratings. So yeah, Pomp wants to know why Leanne has such a hang up about her lawn.
Well, it's sort of an evolution of sorts, because when I started on YouTube, I had my whole name on, and I saw people talking about being doxxed and about, the bad things that happen, and you shouldn't have your name on there. And so as I changed it, I was Leanne the Cleaner. And my cleaning, is intended to be of
Oops, she froze up. We've frozen her. Give it a second. It might pop back on. In the meantime, we've learned out that Jimmy likes to adjust himself. Always trying to rearrange myself. It's a guy thing, Jimmy. Because I always tease my husband. What is it? You think it's going to fall off and roll away? Why is your hand always on there? So hopefully she'll reload and pop back in. Yeah, we lost her. So she'll be back. She's frozen. She'll be back. Oh, there she is. There she is. No panicking. You're good.
Yeah, the problem is, my internet is garbage, so I have to use my phone for hotspot, but periodically at the worst moments,
That's all right. We'll roll with it, sweetie. Not a problem.
there we are. I wasn't on full screen, so my face was, and so back to
I can tell this chair. I can say Leanne was sitting on my face. See that shit?
I was. Laura didn't even get excited about it. I mean, that's how my life is. I'm sitting here in the picture going, how much turkey neck is showing? And I keep trying to pull my head up, like, oh, that's not doing it. Get it down here. Yeah, people who have seen my videos will notice that I use the camera as my mirror, and I talk like I'm in my mirror, even though there are people on the other side. So I wanted to clean up the paranormal as far as the cultural mistakes, especially between different civilizations like the Native American and different things. I have done, as Kenny was worried, I have done some house clearings of spirits or settled them
Right.
down, but then the whole pit bull thing happened. I was like, okay, I'm going to be a pit bull and just poke at everybody. A while back when Beardo and them were all having trouble with whoever he was who called himself the pit bull.
Yeah, that clown there. Yeah.
Yeah. And when that sort of ran its course, I said, okay, well, we can't do that anymore because, that's old news. And I was like, okay. I was feeling grouchy. I said, okay, get off my lawn.
Which is hilarious.
And if you saw my video of my lawn, the only reason you should stay off of it is you would probably be in physical danger from falling in a hole or tripping over tools or getting lost in the tall grass.
Oh my God. Alexis wants to know, is there any paranormal weeds in your life?
Not that I've noticed. They may be out there whispering. Ghost pets?
Or ghost pets, yeah.
I'm working on a video that's called Damn Dead Cats.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I have seen many. I nearly ran over a dog with my truck, and I realized it was my dog that had been dead for about 4 years. He ran in front of my truck and disappeared.
Oh, wow.
There is a farmer who's dressed, if you know about, the painting of American Gothic where it's the farmer
Right.
with his pitchfork. He doesn't have a pitchfork, but he's dressed similarly with overalls and butt hat, kind of a 1920s or 30s farmer who has appeared next to my driveway on 2 occasions.
Interesting. Are you thinking it's like a former owner?
I'm thinking it is. I've been told I don't tell anybody about my farm. I don't prep anybody for what they might see. And everybody comes on my farm and they're like, did you know your farm is haunted? And then they tell me there's supposedly a young woman or girl in my machine shop. I have not seen her, but that's what other people have told me. The farmer I've seen twice. And you're driving and you're driving along and you see something and you're like, okay. And then your brain kicks in and says, no, that's wrong. And you slam on your brakes and look.
Right.
And it's gone. It's like, I'm sort of a stoic person, pretty nonchalant. The spirits have sort of given up trying to scare me. Because I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, you did that. Goody for you.
Well, they're probably thinking, don't waste your time. She's here to stay. So
pretty much. I mean, objects get moved all the time. Yes, but as far as, okay, ghost cats. I don't have orders running 24 hours a day. Don't I've come to realize why it's so difficult for investigators, because the activity is so random. I can go months without anything, and then I suddenly have things happen. And like, there's a period of my time where I'd be sitting on my bed, and the cats at that time weren't allowed in the bedroom. And the attached master bath I would be sitting there and I'd hear a cat jump down from the counter. And I'd go and look to make sure none of them got in there. And there's nothing there. So, I look around outside to see if they're jumping outside. There's nothing outside. So I sit on the bed and nothing jumps off onto the floor. I really got to remember to just start recording. Yeah, it's a cat, an invisible cat jumping in the bathroom.
Right.
I mean, I've had times when on the bed, those of you who have animals know how it feels when they curl up next to you on the blankets. And so I've got this thing curled up next to my feet, but I'm like, I didn't let any cats in here. There are no cats in here, but I can feel it through the blankets. And when I look, well, there's nothing there, but I can still feel the body next to my feet.
Yeah, that's
So,
weird. Yeah.
yes, there are definitely animals do return in spirit form. Mine return to torment me, but I'm glad to see them once in a while.
Right. Yeah, I've heard multiple stories where people said that they've had a pet that has passed, and then they've got something to be going on, and it's either they've seen the pet, or they felt the pet's presence, and things have happened in the house or wherever, and so it's pretty amazing. You're right, Pomp. Yeah, it's paranormal is freaky. It doesn't happen on command. It happens when you least expect it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm sitting here at my desk. No, right now I'm lucky because all the cats have abandoned me and the dog, and so I've got
She's got
peaceful
room.
time. I've got room, and I can be sitting here and I feel cat rubbing against my leg, and I'll look down. Well, there's no cat, but I felt it walking around, rubbing on my legs. So yes, I can tell you, in my opinion, and I don't have any empirical evidence other than my experiences. Yes, our pets do come back to visit us. Our pets are around. I'm firmly in the believer camp, and I probably believe things that some of you would be. Okay, I call myself a wingnut. I'm an anomaly. I can look outside myself and I go, if I told these things to somebody else, they would look at me and say, "You're a wingnut. You're half a knife short in a drawer or something."
Yeah, don't feel bad. Anybody that's involved in this kind of stuff, we all get that same reaction. It's either, they look at you like you have two heads, or you're crazy, or they're really interested. There's no in between.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, Joe. You see your past cats all the time. That's nice. Yeah. And so I've experienced probably about the full range of what you might call paranormal, supernatural, cryptids, UFOs, spirit beings. There is something on my farm. There is a negative presence or entity, and I'm getting lots of information on how to deal with that. Mostly I just turn and walk away from the spot that it's at.
Right. Is it within the house, or is it out on the property?
It's not in the house, and I sage and I do a lot of things to keep my house free of. I've laid down the laws that only benign spirits are allowed.
Right.
It's on the property and it moves around. There was one area at one time, well, everybody avoids it. And it's just sort of a round circle of an area. And when I approach it, I get a feeling of abject terror.
Wow.
And looking at it, it's just a green spot in the sunshine next to some trees. But, you know, my lizard brain is saying, run away. You don't want to go in there.
Wow.
So, and I've currently started learning from a lady who's on YouTube. Her name is Elder Medicine Bear Claw.
Okay.
She does free videos. She talks about the Bigfoot. She's a Native American shaman and elder.
Right.
And so she gives a lot of advice how to deal with, you know, whatever you might meet.
Right. And well, those are the ones you listen to. They're very smart people.
Well, yeah.
Joe wants to know, what do you think about people who say it's just your mind playing tricks on you? She's filling up. Hold on.
Yeah, I have the biggest jug known to. It's a half-gallon
My
jug.
son's got one of those.
Well, the thing is I've had a lot of sometimes words escape me, and there's a word where other people see it too. Validation.
Okay.
I've had a lot of validation from other people. Like I say, I don't tell people anything about the farm. I don't prime them for it. And pretty much everybody who ever comes here will come to me to disclose, well, you know, they're feeling crazy. But they witnessed this thing or whatever. And so that's validation that I know it's not just my mind playing tricks on me.
Right.
I'm very sensitive on the mental health thing. I know people do have mental health problems, but I feel some people who are experiencing the paranormal are misdiagnosed, medicated. I could say this from personal experience. As a child, I had brain scans. They took me to Shriners Hospital to run brain tests on me because of what was going on. And I was, I don't have a lot of memory of it. I just know what, you know, that I was like walking in my sleep. They couldn't wake me up. I'd run through the house screaming. I'd be sitting playing and suddenly be crying for no reason, terrified of something.
Oh boy.
There was an older lady she looked, as to a child, she looked crazy. She had wild hair and kind of wild eyes, and she was living in my closet.
The hag. That's what that is. The old hag. Oh my God.
She wanted my. I think she might have been my paternal grandmother. But you know, in fact, when I chose my bed, us kids each got to choose what bed they wanted. We had a bunch of beds for hired people during hay season, and I choose a bed that is like 3 feet off the floor that I have to climb in because I can look under it and make sure there's nothing under my bed.
Right. Wow.
And as a child, I practiced and worked out the blankets and everything so that I could be in bed sleeping, but it would look like I wasn't in bed.
Right.
Because as I can just remember, there were monsters around. That's all I could, qualify them as a child, was monsters.
And then they had you sent to have testing done because you were having these issues?
Yes, I was
Wow.
6 years old and went to the Shriners Hospital in Salt Lake, which is I grew up in Wyoming,
Right.
and that's the big regional hospital. And they did all these brain scans to see what was going on. When I was in college, I was like 23, and well, it was a whole string of events. Well, if you want the whole story, it started out, okay, I'd been in the Army for 4 years. So basically, I was a grown adult
Mm-hmm.
going to college with 18-year-olds and stuff, just kids. And being a responsible person, I told my hall director, my resident assistant, that I had a gun because I was the age of, Mom threatened me, I either get a gun or she's buying me one, because they're very safety conscious
Okay.
as far as things that can happen in the world. So I had a gun, and I thought it was wise to tell my building director that I had it to be. Well, that got me sent to the school psychologist, who sent me to a psychiatrist, who I ended up on, who decided that I was paranoid, I was schizophrenic, because I could see and experience paranormal things. And
Oh,
so I
boy.
was heavily dosed for about a year and a half, until my mom, and I had the most amazing mom you would believe. She called everyone, called my psychiatrist, called everybody, and told them to be off these medicines because zombie. And I didn't have any memory of it because I was a zombie. So I went back off the medications,
Right.
and I was fine. I mean, I wasn't violent. I wouldn't hurt a fly. I wouldn't, I was trying to be a responsible human being.
Right. Yeah. Now, see, if you didn't tell them that, then you would have gotten in trouble anyway.
Right.
So no, that's what I would have done too. You were being responsible. Hey, welcome in, Lord Beagle.
That's what I am sensitive to too many people palming paranormal experiences off to, well, you have mental health problems. Well, I'm not denying that some people do have mental health problems and they do need treatment, but
Right.
to be careful with that decision, because you may be dealing with a person who is actually experiencing normal things happening.
Right. Hey,
So,
Sarah B, welcome in.
so
No, I do agree
people
with you
think,
on that aspect, but but when you're doing like residentials and stuff like that, you got to look into that, unfortunately, to see if anybody has any history of mental illness. But don't
exactly.
assume right offhand that everybody's crazy. Hey, Susan, welcome in.
Yes, and if
Boy,
it is a house issue, I look into all of that,
right.
talk to everybody, make sure that they aren't playing tricks on each other, or they don't have a mental health issue, or
Right.
what they have. And I'm very selective. It's not just like anybody. It's generally somebody I've known for a while, and they start.
Right.
Oh.
Now, as far as you say that spot on your property that you have that uneasy feeling with, have you done any research on the farm as to maybe past residents and things that they had done there, or you know, Native American activity in that area, anything that would possibly, because it sounds like, you know, you got either like a portal issue going on, because why would you feel that way in that one select area, you know?
And I have a friend that keeps her horse here, and the first time she was out feeding him, and it was getting kind of dark, and I stopped to talk to her, and she said, "Did you know you have spirits on this farm?" And I was like,
Wow.
"Yeah." And she said she felt somebody standing um, a distance away, just whatever it was like, you know, pure hate and just, you know, staring at her with anger, and she was uncomfortable. And
Wow.
so other people have experienced it. This summer, I'm going to have some friends who are going to help me bless the whole farm. And because it's
Right.
also, it's not just, you know, that spot, it's the fact that, and I know farming is dangerous, but we've had far more accidents and animal deaths than is normal.
Okay.
So as far as people thinking it's, I mean, like I said, I'm a wingnut, and if people want to think it's just things in my imagination, or it's me coming up with it, well, they're welcome to that opinion. I know in of myself what I've experienced, and you know, it's a lifelong thing. So,
Right. Right. So,
you
well,
know,
yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but you're living it. So, you know, don't pass judgment. Hey, hi, Cynthia. Welcome in. Alexis wants to know, are you religious, Leanne?
well, off and on, I should be a politician. I've got these answers. um, Sometimes in my life, I've been very religious. At this point, I am what you would call a chaos magician. And what that is a person who will use whatever it takes to get the job done.
Okay.
So, like, if it's a Christian family, then you use, you know, it, if using Christianity and Bible is what is needed to do a job, you use it. If it's smudging and Native American prayers that it needs, you go that way. It's basically looking at what is there and using what will help at least calm the spirits.
Right.
I'm
Um,
myself, I call myself polytheistic, as in I believe that every religion is valid. If it's valid for somebody, then it's valid. It may not be my religion, but it's not my path, it's their path.
right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Just like it was a while back, when my niece lived on a different property, and the property had a history, and uh, my my little niece said she always seen someone looking through the window at her, and when she always felt very uneasy, and it had a lot of Native American history on that property. And I told her, I says, well, apparently it's a land issue, and whatever it is outside on the land, but they're looking in on you. They're not going to come through. I says, but to get a regular minister and stuff to correct the situation isn't going to help you. And I told them to reach out to the local, shaman in that area and have them go around. And because there's certain rituals that they perform that we don't know. to put, whatever a kind of spirit or the land to peace. So that's what I told her. I said, you need, find a shaman for that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And things like putting out some tobacco, burning a smudge, telling them that you're not a threat to them and they aren't a threat to you, and you want them to be peaceful, basically coexist, and
Right.
thank them for being there.
Pomp wants to know, have you ever been scared by the deceased, or is it just the living that's scary?
Mostly it's the living that's scary.
Yep.
I did have one experience where it was kind of scary, I guess. Okay, well, I'm in Salem. Well, I was in Salem, living in Salem. And so far, I think I'm the only one that connected all the dots. It started with a classmate who had mental health issues walking onto the interstate and unaliving herself.
Oh, no.
And so I knew that event, and then every week for about a month, somebody would walk out on the train tracks and be smushed.
Oh, geez.
There was about 4 incidences. It was sort of almost one a week. And my house was only a few blocks from the railway where it happened. And I was working on my computer. You know how it feels when you're in a public place and you feel like somebody's staring at you?
Right.
And then you look and somebody's sitting there staring at you. You had that intuition.
Right.
I could feel, working on my computer, I kept feeling somebody was standing in the doorway, and I'd look and nobody was there. And I said, well, it's a tall fan there. It's nothing. And I'd keep working, and it would keep happening. And it was concerning. It was a young man, and he just was staring at me. And I went to the grocery store, and he went with me. And while being in the store, at one point, suddenly, I had this overwhelmingly, and it was terrifying, this urge to unalive myself on the spot.
Oh, no.
If I had been standing next to the railroad tracks, I would have walked onto the tracks.
Oh, no.
And, in my head, I could say, I know this isn't me. I mean, it was just like flipping on a light switch that this happened, and it was overwhelming. Right. And so I finished up my stuff and went back home. And what I determined was this was a young man who had unalived himself, or this was a spirit that had mental health issues that went with them to the other side. And so they were, however they were doing it, getting in people's heads and making them walk on the train tracks.
Right.
That is of my opinion.
That's scary.
I did a ceremony. I passed him over to the other side, sent him over with love and care, and the death stopped. So for me, that was verification that this is what was going on, because I also knew this friend walked onto the highway that I felt like this being who was so mentally upset was getting people to off themselves.
Right.
And once he was passed on, the death stopped.
Oh, that's scary. Hey, Julie. Hi,
That
Mark.
that was scary.
Yeah. Hey, Purple. How's it going?
Who we got?
Everybody's popping in.
Purple!
Nice. That's all
I
right.
gotta remember to look at my phone and read the chat once in a while.
Lurk
You
away,
never
Pop.
know. You gotta watch.
Do I have?
You gotta watch the chat because they're up to no good.
Yeah, I'm always got my eye on it. So yeah, that's a scary experience. So yeah, to have that kind of dark feeling on your own property, and then and it would make me curious why it's going on, what's going on, what happened to make it, show up. Because we really don't. None of us know what happened in the past in the places of where we live. So.
And I know that the last people that owned the property were from California, and they did a good job fixing it up. Prior to it was an auction house. And so a lot of antiques, a lot of personal property passed through there. I also know, of course, I've seen on TV and they will laugh when somebody said, well, it's Native American land. And the people on TV will just roll their eyes like, oh, we've heard this before. But we have to remember this entire nation was Native American land.
Exactly. All of it.
And where I'm living would be a perfect place for them to camp. For the summer, there's running water, there's a river nearby they could fish, there's plenty of game. We've found a lot of arrowheads and things on the property. So
awesome.
It's very possible that they had camped here at one point.
Right.
And, I don't know, sometimes I think that people can make, if you've got a person that's very negative, they're putting out that negative vibe, they're putting out the negative energy. And I think sometimes that can coalesce into something. Either it calls a negative being or it becomes a negative being of its own. So.
And yeah, if it's got something to feed on, then it will. So it's anybody that's suffering with depression or other issues that just feeds the flame.
Yes, one young man I knew of who was having very emotional times. Of course, he was in puberty. He was having a lot of difficulties with his living situation, of living with people who weren't his birth parents, but they were giving him a good home. But he was confused because he wanted to go back and live with his dad or his mom. And then he'd find out they weren't good people, so he'd come back. And I believe he had something attached to him. It could have been poltergeist energy. It was just wherever he was, the activity ramped up.
Right. So yeah, I find that very interesting as well. Where if somebody's affected by something because of what they're going through, then everything gets intensified. Let's see. Alexis wants to know: Does anyone had an archaeological digging done on your land, Leanne? Good question.
Nobody that I know of. I'm considering going out metal detecting and doing more search myself. There isn't like one spot you can really zoom in on as far as an archaeological dig. It's on a floodplain where a river once flowed, and it was a repository for a lot of old farmers' junk. So we have cleaned out a lot of stuff, but I'm planning to do some metal detecting and even trying to see if maybe there is locations that would be worth digging up and to see what is under the surface.
Right. Now, I always wanted one of those metal detectors to check that stuff out. It's cool because you never know what you're going to find in just any random spot. And I mean, you know, old coins and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Well, and we have a very high water line, so quite often I can dig down 2 feet and the hole fills with water before you can go any further.
Oh,
So that also gets in the way of things that may be buried here, but
it's still worth a shot, though. Yeah, because you never know. I remember one time when we were living in Missouri, and my sister-in-law wanted a pool put in, so my husband and I, you know, started helping her put the pool up, and we were just digging, and you know, we found a bunch of old coins. That was really cool.
That would be.
So yeah, someday. So do you do that though? Do you go around? You have a metal detector, right? You go around and you do that?
I have a metal detector. I haven't used it much. I'm planning to use it more in the future, trying to identify areas. You know, I don't know if there was an original farm here or if this was land sold off from a farm.
Right.
But plus we've got a tree lot that would be, well, we have, as you know, we have wild turkeys, we have deer, we have a cougar that comes and goes. We've got a camera, but it never bothers anything here.
Right.
So
hi, Sage.
It's sort of this wild oasis in the middle of farmland, middle of. Can I start over, Sage?
So how big is the farm? How big is the farm? Is it, you know, do you have a lot of acreage? I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but it's just, is it a really big space?
Well, that's relative. It's 30 acres. I believe 20 are the flat land and then 10 are heavily wooded hillside.
Oh, okay. So that's a lot of space to cover. So if you definitely want to take an adventure, that would be fun. Going around with the detector, you never know what you might find.
Exactly. I mean, we have done a lot of digging and not found anything of merit to, you know, do an archaeological dig on a site, but there's a lot of surface things that, you know, like I said, rocks that look like they might have been scrapers, things like that.
That's so cool. I'd love to find one of those arrowheads. Of course, I don't know. I might be able to find something like that here, but I never know.
So Sage,
because I always had what did Sage say? Go ahead.
Well, Sage said start over, so I wanted to say, well, let's see, December 21st or 22nd, depending on which birth certificate you look at, there was a baby born, bit the doctor, kissed the nurse, and yelled, "Get off my lawn."
There you go. I started over. There you go. You ask and you shall receive. She bit the doctor. Sage says that Oregon doesn't allow collecting artifacts. It's illegal. Really? Well, that's just BS.
Well, thanks, Sage.
Well, then you better hide all the arrowheads that you found. Oh, that's just
Hang on a
wrong. I
sec.
mean, you own the property. What the heck?
Hello? Why are you in my house?
Uh-oh.
You're bringing me eggs and packages? Are you stealing things too? Okay. People randomly break into my house. You can put the box here.
Nice.
On.
Well, as long as they're bearing gifts. We'll
You
take
want to
some
come
eggs
over here?
too.
They can see who you are.
What's that?
Let's see. Come on.
Hi.
Hey, who's that handsome fella?
That's my son Colson.
Nice to meet you.
This is the world. This is everybody on YouTube. There's millions watching.
Oh, good.
He's famous now.
Yeah.
Is he single? We could hook him up, you know.
Let's do your trash.
Okay. Well, if you have some trash out there, you can slip.
Okay, we'll do.
There's probably a bag over maybe by the kitchen sink.
Well, it's good he come over to help you out.
He did. He came over to, yes, to take my trash, bring me boxes.
Nice.
Oh, hang on a sec.
It's always nice when they come
Pardon
bearing
me
gifts.
for interrupting the stream. This is from Amazon, so that's not important. This one is maybe the it's heavy as heck. Maybe the box I was looking for.
Nice.
Just a minute. Sorry.
That's all right.
people.
Alexis says that he
Interrupting
got
the
through your
stream.
lawn.
He did.
He's got the
Well,
map.
there
He knows
are
how to do it.
hidden pathways. Exactly. He knows where to go and where not to go and where the booby trap.
Right. I was just gonna say that where all the booby traps are. Oh, we get to see what he's unboxing something. Hope it's something good.
No.
No, she's got a bad look. It's not good.
It's a 12-pack of mushrooms.
Oh, well,
Cooking
hey, it depends on who you.
It is
Nice.
good, but what I was hoping that it was my merch from a certain Raw Side Paranormal that I
Oh,
ordered.
lovely. Nice.
So I was hoping it would come before this live stream so that
Oh, how fun. Thank you so
I could
much.
wear it, but
Oh, she got a
it
shirt.
did not. It hasn't come yet.
Nice, nice.
Yes, I got the Bruce. Hey, you guys, Laura's merch is the best price of any of the merch I've looked
Oh,
at.
good.
So buy
I
Laura's
try to
merch.
keep it. Yeah, I want to keep it low because I know how it is when you really want something, you can't afford it. So I try to. That's why I went with who I went with. It's a good company. The stuff so far, I mean, I've gotten a couple of t-shirts and I've got a mug, which I never get to use. My husband always steals it, but it's really good stuff.
Yes, and I was going to show off, but it didn't get here in time.
Ah,
So
shucks.
yeah, Colson, in fact, has to figure out how to mow my lawn, so he'd better know his way through it.
Alexis says she likes a good unboxing. Yeah, it's fun when you get stuff in the mail and you get to share.
Yeah, well, I had better unboxings because you see here,
Oh, yeah. She wears it. I love it.
I wear this every day. That's from the wonderful Laura.
Nice.
You can't. Okay, let's see if we.
Sage got her hair cut. There's a person under that. You had your ears lowered, huh? I'm too chicken to cut mine off. Well, today I got it in a ponytail. Let's got it up off the shoulders. Hey, TARDIS. I love that blanket. That blanket's just the greatest blanket.
It is. It's the
Oh
greatest
God, I seen
blanket,
that. And I
and
said, that's
I
it. That's totally Leanne. I gotta have that one.
Laura sent me that blanket. So normally I'm curled up in it, but I thought, well, it'll make a nice little backdrop here since I can't do the magic that everybody else does.
It's a learning process because I went through that too. And then you get to the point where you get the green screen and all that, and I just got sick and tired of messing with it. So I ended up buying the tapestry that's behind me, the tree of life there. It's on the wall, glows in the dark, good enough.
Oh, I love glow in
Yeah,
the
I got that
dark.
one, and I have another one on the door. That's all. Of course, you guys can't see it because I got all that crap hanging on the door, but it's they're great. And got the black light there, and it shines up and looks nice. And of course, I love the tree of life, so it was it was meant to be there.
Just a minute, I'll be back. No, I won't be. I'm leaving. You'll never see me.
She's leaving us. Thanks for posting it, Pinky. Yeah, that's the first company that I went with. I didn't care for the stuff. It was kind of cheesy and it was high priced. And then when I found Fourth Wall, I'm like, all right, this one is definitely a better place. And everybody can afford, it doesn't cost you hundreds of dollars for a shirt. That's just insane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Excellent prices. I wished I had mine so I could be showing off my Brewster Rooster, but
She got a Brewster Rooster.
I did. I got a couple shirts from you.
I want to get myself a hag shirt. I think that's hilarious. So yeah, and I just gotta shuffle stuff through, and if somebody comes up with a good idea, then it's fun making up the merch. Wait till you do it; you're gonna have a blast. It's just, it's a good time.
And I know I have a very easy merch to make, so it has to have on it is the words "Get off my lawn."
Right?
But I'm hoping to get something like a giant, like werewolf head picture,
Right?
and words are coming out of its mouth. Something a little creepier than.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'd be pretty cool. So I have more fun making this stuff up, and then I'm thinking, okay, what would somebody want to use, or what could they use on a daily basis? Like you get the coffee mugs, then you get the tumblers, or the water bottles are really nice too. I think those are a little high priced, but they're nice because they're not the cheesy ones. And I love the way that the photographs and stuff come out on them. They look really good.
They do.
Laura, your merch is going through regular mail or DHL? Oh, good question. I believe it's regular mail.
So it could be sitting down in my mailbox and I haven't gone and
Yeah.
got it yet.
But so far, I've only had one issue with when I first did the hag stuff. Hey, Ken, welcome in. I did get notice from Sage. She said that the photo was too dark. So what she got was really dark. So I had to go back in there and fix that. And I haven't had any other issues so far. Fingers crossed. Hey, Cree, how's it going? Hi, one and all working. Wanted to say hello to Leanne and Laura and to all of you. Well, welcome in, Cree.
Hi, Cree. Hi, everybody I haven't said hello to.
Now, of course, we all know that Leanne likes to go through cemeteries like I do. Is there a specific reason why you enjoy the cemeteries, or is this something you stumbled across? And
well, it started when I had a house. I was about a block from the cemetery. Well, ever since I was a kid, and I was raised in a family where we would always go tend the graves. We'd all clean them up, and we were very respectful to those who had passed. So it's been kind of a lifelong thing. Like when I was in the military, station places, I would go and find a couple graves that had been long forgotten. Probably the families died off and nobody was taking care of the graves. This was in Germany, where they are very good about that. They're out there every weekend tending graves. So, it gave me something to do that was productive. And I've always liked cemeteries because I like the peace and the quiet.
Right.
There's, you may have car traffic, but you've got the birds. It's very peaceful up there. I like to go and I like to see the old stones and how far they date back. And I got in a habit of going there and sitting and having my lunch because it was a peaceful place to just sit and hang out.
Right.
So, who doesn't
Uh,
love a good cemetery? Come
I
on.
know, really. Well, I used to get razzed all the time. Oh, why do you go there? So creepy. I don't find anything creepy about them. I find them interesting, and that's why I love doing the work that I'm doing now is mostly cemetery stuff because it's history. A lot of people don't realize it's history that you're looking at, and then it started off where we were just jotting down the names and the dates and stuff that are on the stones, and then I would come home and look them up, and it's amazing what you find out just from that little bit of information. And so that's when I started doing more investigations through the cemeteries. Um, and I've picked up stuff. I've gotten strange blips and stuff on photographs. And let's see, have you ladies considered picnic on a cemetery? There is a belief in my religion or in my region that if you eat there and mention the dead, they eat too. I've seen people do that where they have actually brought a picnic lunch because the cemetery that we have here locally has 3 ponds, and the one is a one big pond that we call it the Mickey Mouse pond because it's shaped like the head of Mickey Mouse, and there's a big fountain in it, and people put blankets out and have picnic lunches there. So that's pretty cool. That
Well,
if you
historically, that's been a thing that people did because there weren't parks, there weren't set aside land in cities. And so on Sunday, they would all go to the cemetery and have picnics.
so there you go. That's pretty cool.
I'll have to invite them to eat with me next time.
There you go. Next time you bring in your McDonald's and share your fries. Oh, it's still storming, Betty. Be safe. So yeah, that's pretty. I never heard that. Where if you eat there and then they eat too. That's pretty neat.
That's very interesting. And, I think that there are spirits that hang out at cemeteries. I mean, times have changed. It used to be a mark on your character, what kind of person you were in society, in how well you kept up the graves and everything of your loved ones.
Right. Oh, there, Joe says because she found an old grave when I was a teenager, and the whole family passed over from the span of a whole family from the Spanish flu era. Wow.
Yeah, I find it very sad to see the number of infant mortality that some of these families had.
Yes,
Losing like
it was
6,
sad.
7 kids.
Yep. I say, Mark says, I don't know what to call out for in a cemetery as I feel the dead not with the body anymore. If that's a thing they can do, why be there with the vessel? A lot of people say that. Why would they hang around? The thing is, why not? Maybe they're checking to see if anybody is visiting them, and it's a way for them to touch base with their loved ones. It could be any amount of reasons. Why not? I mean, you're a spirit; you can go where you want, and some might choose to hang out in the cemetery. I know Mark was on earlier, and it was in a cemetery. He was running. Did you get busted for being in there? But I've picked up EVPs in the cemeteries. I've been touched by something in the cemetery. I mean, I can't call it paranormal because I don't have proof, but I've had things happen. Um, Unfortunately, I know of some people that have been to cemeteries where they've brought back negative stuff with them. So always make sure that you're really careful if you're going to do any kind of cemetery stuff, and always be respectful.
Yeah, I know a man that's kind of regretting it because he was at the cemetery visiting his late wife's grave, and when he left, he said, "If any of you want to come home with me, you can." And now he says he
Oh,
regrets that because a lot of things came back that he wasn't expecting.
yeah, you don't want to do that because a lot of it could be negative. Because you don't know what's out there lurking, waiting for somebody. Because you got to also remember, people are going there and they're grieving still, so their guard is down. So if you say something like that, if anybody wants to come back with me, it could be anything.
Definitely.
Let's see. Endless, the space they are from is not confined, and they could go from one place to another. And no, find, I did not kick down. Okay. Well, because when I joined his show today, he was running, so I figured, okay, he got busted, so he was all right. Every time when I go into a certain place, and if it's a certain time of the day, and if somebody asks me questions, I say, "Well, I'm just a historian, and I'm looking up old, folklore and history, and that's why I'm here taking photographs and stuff. Because if you mention paranormal, then it's already, you're on the shit list. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't see it. Because my husband goes, "What are you going to say?" "I'm a historian. I'm taking photographs, getting information." Lex says there's a baby next to my dad's grave. It's really sad. The last time that I was at this one cemetery, which I'm having a hard time finding information on, because I was telling my husband that the other day. There was one. It was like a whole family, and it was like I think it was a 3-month old. Um, I forgot. I forget. 16-year-old, 20-year. They were all. It was all in like in a line. I'm thinking, man, a lot of babies though. You find a lot. Like Leanne said, back in the day, there was a lot of babies that people lost. Genealogy is always a great reason to be there. Yeah, because that's how do you find things. You gotta be in there. Usually, I don't have any problems. People usually leave me alone, but I try to go when nobody's around. Like, isn't the holidays coming up this weekend? So this is the worst time to go to the cemetery because everybody's gonna be planting flowers and all that, and it'll be too much contamination. So I
Yeah,
always try to go ahead.
no, I try to avoid it on days that I know it's going to be busy, and um I kind of just like to let them know that they have not been forgotten.
Right. And I don't know about out where you are, but here I know when we go out, and we do go out on a lot of the back roads and stuff. I mean, if there's a dirt road somewhere, my husband finds it and we're on it. But that's where you find a lot of places that have been abandoned. And it could be just general family cemeteries or stuff like that. Or, and we have, the path that come through here was during the Revolutionary War. So when people pass, they just generally dug up the ground there, and that's where they were buried. So you're going to find stuff like that too, and it's not tended to. So we like to go to places like that, and I like to pull the weeds and and clean it all up, and then get some nice photographs, and I write down the information and look them up.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And I mean, I don't know. I think back in the day, it was a lot of spirits visiting their grave to see if their family was taking care of it and honoring them.
Yeah, and they're not forgotten.
That's
Mark says, anyone else notice the amount of blackbirds or crows in cemeteries? Yes, they do happen to like to hang out there. The last one that I just did, and with the EVPs, the birds you could hear the birds. They were all over. Oh, so sorry, Purperoni. So sorry. She lost her baby boy. Oh. Sending love and hugs to you. That's very difficult.
I'm sorry, Purple. My heart really goes out to you.
Yeah, that's very, very heartbreaking. That's you hear about that stuff, and it's so difficult. I mean, you expect it to lose an elderly person, but when it's a little one, it's so difficult. My husband gets upset because he'll say, I don't understand it. Why do all these children have cancer, or why do they die? And see, that's where he is on the fence with religion, because why does God allow it? And we just don't know. We just don't. Sage wants to know.
What? Go ahead. Sometimes I feel like humanity is in God's ant farm. And sometimes he'll toss in a little food. Other times he'll tap the glass or shake it to see what happens. Give us earthquakes and stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Sage wants to know, what do we have planned coming up? Sleeping? No. The weather here is supposed to be very pleasant, so I'm hoping I can get out and get something accomplished. What about you, Leanne? Get out that metal detector.
Yeah, I'm working on getting the house clean, because in about 8 weeks I'm gonna have a new puppy.
Oh, what kind?
It's a cross of European. It's a guard dog kind of thing, a livestock guarding dog, and it's like half Anatolian Shepherd and half Mongolian Shepherd.
Oh my goodness.
It's the kind of dogs that live with the animals.
Yep.
And keep an eye on them.
Oh, how fun. Can't wait to see that.
So yes, I traded a horse trailer for a wave pool and a puppy.
Sounds like an all right deal.
Yeah, it's a very good deal, because I was looking at selling the trailer, and getting a wave spa from it is an excellent deal for me. It's what I need right now. Go swimming. I'm planning to start doing some paranormal investigations here on the farm.
Oh, yeah, we'd love to see that.
See if I can't catch pictures of the farmer appearing, or there's a lot of random noises and things that.
That's where like trail cams come in really handy. When you've got a large space like that, You just set up some trail cams all over, and so you could just leave them there, and they'll catch whatever you're missing. That would be awesome if you could catch the farmer. That'd be great. Oh, you'd be famous.
We hopeful, and yeah, I want to set up like tape recorders just running.
Right.
I do get voices in the house. It's random and it's weird. Like I was in bed, I was awake, I was not sleeping, I did not dream this. It's that early morning time when you're awake and you're laying there considering going to sleep, back to sleep, but knowing you got to start your day. And clear as a bell from the living room, I heard a young woman's voice yell, "You guys don't mind if we come in, do you?" And
Oh.
I jumped up and I ran out. Nobody in the living room, nobody on the deck. It's a long driveway and nobody was on the driveway. Of course,
You're
I
probably
never
thinking,
did
who the
say
hell's in
come
my
in.
house?
Well, I thought maybe it was my granddaughters that came to visit because it
Oh.
did sound of their age, but there was nobody here.
Oh, that's weird.
So, and of course, I didn't say yes, come in, because I don't know who it is or what it is.
Right.
And I used to not keep any of my doors locked, but I've read enough creepypasta to think, well, maybe I better lock my doors.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. This day and age, you never know who's going to be wandering around.
Well, and I'm in a fairly isolated place, so people can't just walk up on me. So that's one thing that makes it easier to debunk, because there's impassable thorn bushes on all sides, farmer fields as far as you can see.
Right.
It's not like somebody's gonna, walk up and be talking on my porch.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I would set all that stuff up. And then wait, you get the dog. The dog is going to be a perfect alarm system for you. So if anybody's out playing around, the dog's going to let you know.
Yes. Yes.
That's always one of the reasons why we got Athena, is because we like to go camping. It's in the woods, and you just don't know if a bear is going to come up or any other animal or some weirdo. So she's got a big mouth. Anybody comes up, she starts barking so that we are, alert and go start looking around. Let's see. Sage said, I had a brother that died at 4 months that is in the cemetery in Salem. Oh. And then Janice said, I lost my daughter at 3 years. Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry to hear that. She says, but she feels her in my house. Well, sure, she's with you every day. Just like my dad, he says, since my mother's passed, he's had this funny feeling every now and then. I said, well, you never know. It's probably mom with you, and she's, just making sure that you're okay.
I think it's quite possible. I think it's probable, and I'm planning to do a video. See, I'm going to tell everything that I want to do videos on here, and then I'll be like, well, I already said that on Laura's, so.
That's all right. You say it again. Well, now we know what to look forward to.
I want to do a video about breaking out of 2D thinking of, everything's black and white or binary ones and zeros, that people look at humans as they are and they imagine, well, that's what must be on the other side. I mean, so many different discussions I've heard people say, well, how can they talk? They don't have vocal cords. How can they move things? They don't have bodies. It's a whole different ball game after you're deceased.
Right.
I don't, Kenny's worst word. I don't know if they're energy, what capability, obviously there's capabilities, because it's been if not filmed, at least anecdotally. And that's one thing about the culture thing is, and I'm very interested in prehistory as well, because many of these stories have been passed down generation to generation through songs and stories. And, that we discount that too much because no, we didn't tape record this incident that happened 100 years ago. But the fact that it's so pervasive in a culture leads me to believe there is truth in it.
Well, there has to be some kind of a truth, because where else would it come from?
Right. And yes.
I mean, you know how it is through the years and the generations that stories will change. People add and take away or whatever, but there's a base there. It started with something that was truth. So yeah, that makes it very interesting.
Yes, and the stories, the teachings of things like Bigfoot, the rake, something called the it, dogmen, wendigos. All of these things have a basis in historical verbal passing downs of histories.
Right.
And the thing is it's not like like legends that seem to start with something small and grow bigger. It's that each generation has the same experiences and tells the same stories.
Yeah. Well, what I do is I always use as an example is, I mean, years ago, when everything was done by ship, and you'd hear all these old seamen, and they would say, "Oh, a giant squid attacked the ship and brought the ship down, or did this or did," and that was always, "Oh, you're full of shit, no such thing." And then when finally one washed up on shore, and they actually had documented proof right there that giant squid existed.
Yes.
So that's why I leave the door open for Bigfoot. I've never had that experience, but who's to say that there isn't something out there? And I mean, of course, we call it Bigfoot because of the footprint size, but it could be just another form of bear or ape or something that we don't know about yet.
And some Native American cultures, well, they have their own name for it. Like, I'll probably say this wrong, Tsanga is one word for it. And I mean, most of their words mean like forest people or
right,
things like that. And I heard an interesting, you can call it a theory, but it was a belief that why Bigfoot hunters never see anything, because the word hunter is in their name. And creatures know what hunters do. They kill.
So,
And
well, well, like I said, I leave the door open because you don't know. There's been too many stories, I mean, it's been around forever. There's something out there. We just haven't discovered it yet.
right,
And
yeah.
That's what it is.
It's just like the giant squid. Well, that used to be myth.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't.
So I mean, the Bigfoot thing might not be what we were thinking it is, but there's got to be something out there. There's just too many stories, too many things that people have found that prove there's an existence of some kind of creature. We just haven't caught it yet. Which actually, I'm having the Bigfoot guy on in June, guys. I rescheduled with John, so
that'll be cool.
Yeah, we're gonna catch up with him because it's been over a year since I've had him on, and he's been very busy here in the Adirondack Park. So we'll be interesting to ask. So get your questions ready so we can find out what's going up in the Adirondacks. Just as I agree. Too much we don't know about our Earth. There's so much out there that we don't know about. And you are so right. You're right.
It's like after the tsunami, it changed the landscape so much that they found different species that they didn't even know existed before. And,
Yep.
Now some people think it's a hoax, other people believe it, but that they found the bones of a colony of short people that were like 3 feet tall. They're calling them the hobbits, but that they found this burial site of these people who were very tiny.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's not something that we've ever thought about or looked for.
Well, because we're locked into the mindset that it's just us, we don't think that there might be other
Exactly.
human beings. Right. Good night, Mark. Have a good night. Same thing with the giants, where they did find evidence that there was a race of giants at one time. They're finding this stuff little by little. We don't know what the hell's under the ground. I always wanted to be an archaeologist at one time, but I had to travel, so they pretty much put this shit to that. But I think it would be awesome. So that's why I always wanted to do the with the metal detecting and stuff like that. And, you're digging up history, you're finding history, so it's pretty cool. Hey Phil, welcome in. He says the Cherokee talk of the moon-eyed people that were settled before they were. Oh. Really?
Well, and it's like the Anastasia people in the desert Southwest that now I'm finding out is from the legends and history from Navajo and other cultures about those people, and the people were actually slave. They would capture the other tribes and make them slaves and make them build for them.
Yeah. Their sage says it's interesting that several different ethnic groups have so many of the same types of stories. Right, exactly. So how is it possible that something doesn't exist when you've got all different groups of people from around the globe? I mean, they might call it something else, but it's the same type of stories or experiences.
Exactly, and that's what I look at a lot is all of these disparate people who never had contact with each other, but have similar tales. I mean, the Chinese, the Asians have dragons. The Europeans have dragons. There's Native American groups that talk about there used to be dragons. And it's like, okay, we say that's myth, but how did these people who had never met each other come to have the same myth?
Right. So there again, there's some truth in it. It might be just told differently, but I mean, if people are having the same experiences all around the world, we're missing something. We're definitely missing something. I think that's why we all do this. That we all do this kind of thing because that mystery. We want to find the answers to that mystery.
Exactly. And we're all looking for the truth, and
yeah.
My truth may not be the same truth as other people, but it's what I got.
Yeah, well, you see it your way and everybody else sees it their way, and we meet in the middle. Alexis says the Western dragon and the Asian dragons have different meanings. I love the culture. The culture is amazing. Those people are amazing. How's it going, Ace? Welcome in.
Hey, Ace, good to see you.
And they're very smart people. The Asians are very smart. I mean, they're very old culture, and it's amazing. They get to live off the land. They know what to look for medicines and all of the. It's amazing. Just like the American Indian and stuff, where they, well, the older days. I mean, I don't know about the newer tribes now. I don't think there is as much into it as like in the old days, but I would love to see them continue those teachings where, you can go out in the woods and you're sick, what to get, or, food and, and the respect of the land. And because I believe that the earth is our mother, she sustains us. If it wasn't for her, we couldn't survive. I mean, you got to have air, you got to have water, you have to have food. And so the earth, is very important. Even though we treat it like shit. I'm waiting for the day it fights back, and it's going to wipe us out.
Yeah, Earth can do that. That's definitely
Oh, yeah.
Mother Earth. You make her mad one day, and
oh yeah. Well, actually, it was last night I was watching. I was today at some point. I'm so my head's all screwed up, but I was watching about Yellowstone because somebody had mentioned it in something, and I'm like, well, yeah, it was always known as a super volcano, and their things are changing, and so it goes off every God how many millions of years, and they said it's about due. How bad, who knows? But it's monitored 24/7, and then they tell you they look to see. They give you examples on how it would be compared to how bad the blast was and what would happen in stages, and it's pretty scary. I think we need to start building bunkers because I'm telling you, if that thing blows up, we're in trouble. Hey, Nick, how's it going?
hello, poet. Yes,
Yes,
I haven't
Nick is in
really
the
said
house.
hello to very many people. They're just chatting away, and
It's all just kick back and chat. She says hello to everybody. So it's let's see.
yeah,
Well, there are scientists who believe that we are at the beginning of the next Earth-made mass extinction event. Yeah, that's the Yellowstone thing. It's scary. And they said they've had certain signs, and I'm thinking, oh God. I mean, if there's, I don't. I mean, it's proven it has blown up before that there was survival. But God, I don't know if we would survive it. To be honest, some might, but never take it. Take it at face value that everything is going to be cool forever because it's not. My mother-in-law used to always have a fit about things changing. I said, well, you're living on a living thing. The planet is a living thing, and it's going to grow and change, and it has cycles. And you have to expect that things aren't going to stay the same forever. It's just not the way it works. The weather change and the weather patterns have been, a much concern of many people, and we're going through a cycle. That's pretty much what it is. Hopefully, we all survive it. That's all I got to say.
yeah.
Let's see. Doing awesome here. Laura just got done posting Wednesday's Zen Day premiere. Now I'm resting. Oh, relax. Enjoy. Hey, Admit, welcome in. Yeah, she says it probably killed the dinosaurs. Well, yeah, that's pretty much probably what it was. When the last blast, that's pretty much probably what wiped out the dinosaurs and it started over again.
Well, yeah, it
And
could
who
happen
knows?
again
I
if
mean,
we start over.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe we'll be
And if
smarter next time. But
oh God, I don't know. The human race just does not learn from their mistakes. It really doesn't. You know, when you see movies about where they show movies of humanity in the future, a lot of it is just ugly. I wouldn't want. I mean, I know it's Hollywood, but it could be truth where there's a devastation and then you start over, and it's just not pleasant. People just aren't smart. You know, we think we are, but we shit on what's important. Just like, you know, what, like the treatment of the planet, and as far as us contaminating it with all of the industry, and like all the plastic and stuff that we use, and all of this, and it goes into landfills, and this stuff doesn't go away. We're slowly poisoning the ground, and then in turn we're poisoning ourselves, because you got to grow stuff in that ground. You've got to drink the water that's in that ground, and people just don't get it. Just another reason to take each day as a gift. There is no guarantee of another. Oh, you hit it right on the head, Sage. That's why I think it's awesome. Sage always enjoys her sunrise, the sunset. She takes those moments to enjoy just the simple things, because we get caught up in a lot of crap. And just every time now, because of the clock change, I catch the sunrise and I think of Sage in the morning. Because, here it comes. Because usually before I used to miss it. Microplastics hidden in shampoo and stuff. Yeah. Well, it's in our food. So everybody wonders why everybody's so sickly. It's because they've been poisoning us for years. I told my husband, even if we went back to, growing our own food, raising our own animals for food, the damage is done. We've already been poisoned for years. And it collects in the body. We're not going to get rid of that. Alexis, my vision of the future is 1984. I know. I'm a tax believer. Yeah. I don't know. And now with food, in general, like fast foods, and I know that people were making big comments about it. Now it's like laboratory grown meat. So what are we eating? That's the scary thing. What are we actually eating? Beef, or is it some kind of crap they made in the laboratory? Plastic is.
I don't know. I'm eating beef because I got my own cows. So
Yeah, see, we gotta go.
y'all are on your own.
We're coming to your house. Well, like I have friends who do a lot of hunting. You know, they have a lot of money. They don't have to do this for food, but they do because they enjoy it, and they enjoy eating the food that they hunt for. But they have people, family members and stuff that make fun. Oh, you got to go out and kill your dinner. Well, I don't see anything wrong with that. They're raising, they have a lot of land. So they set the land up to feed the animals. And then when hunting season comes, they harvest the animals and it fills their freezers. And that's what they eat. I don't understand where there's a problem, where a lot of people will judge them because they do that. And I don't know. I mean, they used to do it years ago. Where's the problem? Buy organic. Not for nothing, I admit a lot of stuff that claims to be organic isn't. I found that out too. So your best bet is just if you got the space and the time, grow your own. Yeah, see, even Phil says, yeah, organic is a lie. 90% of the time is from the store. Yeah, you're paying prices that's supposed to be organic and it's not. I found that out a few years ago. Because I used to say, well, I don't mind buying, paying the extra for the organic, because then, it's got no chemicals in this. It's not the truth. So I told my husband, I said, we need just to get some planters out on the porch and grow our own tomatoes and stuff like that. I used to do that. I used to buy from a farm. Yeah, we would too if we could. And actually, we have a lot of Mennonite and Amish in the area, so we buy from them as well. I mean, they raise it on their farms. I rather support them. It's you're supporting locals. Those people work hard. Oh my God, do they work hard? So when they have like their vegetable stands and stuff out, we always stop and we get stuff from them. All right, I got something weird I want to talk with you. Maybe you have seen this, Leanne, and you guys. I don't know. My father bought tomatoes from the store, and it was tomatoes on the vine. That's supposed to be the better ones. And I was cutting one up for a salad that we were having for a barbecue. I cut that tomato open, and the seeds inside were already starting to germinate. Have you ever seen that in a tomato when you cut it open and the seeds are already starting to grow? I was like, what the hell is wrong with this tomato?
Frequently, especially if I leave it on the counter for a few days. I cut
Really?
up,
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
yeah, I've cut up a lot of them, and the seeds are already starting to sprout and grow. And
Wow. See, yeah, no, I've never experienced it because I'm thinking, oh God. So I mean, I scooped them out and I didn't put them in the salad because I'm thinking, okay, is there something wrong here? But that was the first time I've ever seen that.
no, it's just nature getting her way. However, they were stored indicated to the tomato that it's time to birth them babies.
Oh, I'll be damned. Well, there you go. Okay, now I ain't gonna worry about it then. Straight from the farm, as organic as you can get. Yeah, you're right, Phil. That's what I buy eggs from a farm. I used to get them, and then we didn't for a while. I don't know. I rather have them from a farm. My husband gets a little sketchy when it comes to eggs. I don't know. It's weird. They say our kids are starting puberty age 9 because of the meat hormones. You're right. I'm telling you, you see some of the girls walking around here, you're thinking that they're like 20 years old or older. Even my niece, my sister's stepdaughter. Holy crap. I'm thinking to look at her, you thought she was about 18. She's 13 years old, guys. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah,
As long as-
Mom.
Go ahead.
Well, I grew up on a ranch, and Mom would read every packaging and everything else. And as soon as she saw on the growth hormone, don't feed it the meat to pregnant ladies within 6 to 8 weeks, the cow having the hormone action, she said, no, this is not a good thing to do. We're not injecting anything because it's obvious it can affect lives down the line.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. That's what they're doing to us. Betty says as long as you eat them and not just killing. Oh no, they use the whole animal. And then what they don't use, they give to other friends who will use whatever's left over. Actually, I do believe that where they take it is our Amish people that process the meat for them. So whatever they don't use, then the Amish will grind up and put into like sausages and stuff like that. Hey, I don't, I tell them right on. So when nobody else has food or they're bitching about how expensive beef is, they've got freezers full of deer and turkey and bear and and they know what the animals are eating because they're eating the stuff that's on their land. I say yes, we get that out here a lot. They are shipped from South America, bred to stay red, and flesh holds up for a long time, no flavor, and the seeds sprouting. That's exactly what it was, Sage. So maybe that's where they came from. Because I hate buying store tomatoes, and my father will do it, and I'm like, they have no taste at all. They're just awful. And there, the seeds were sprouting. So okay, thanks for clearing that up, guys. I've never seen that. They were picked green and mature on the way. That's why. Okay. See, I was always used to growing my own tomatoes or get them from the farmer. So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, I guess I had a freak tomato or something going on here. Admet says it's madness with the hormones. School says it's normal nowadays. I was horrified. No, that's not normal. when you've got 10, 12-year-olds that, are built like 20-year-olds, it's just, oh my God. Because I would say that to my husband, we'd see these little girls coming out of school, and I'm thinking, oh my God, these are like 5th graders. I go, look at the size of the chest on that little girl. It's bigger than what I got. So what the hell are these kids eating? And the boys, they're all, I mean, I remember going to school. Most of the boys and stuff were average height, 5'7", 5'8". Every now and then you'd get somebody in the 6-foot range. When my son was going to school, all of his friends, all 6 foot and over. These kids were huge. So definitely, I believe it's the hormones that they're putting in our food. Enjoy your dinner, Nick.
Now that we've told you what not to eat, and
Right. Well, I'm sure he's having some kind of rice, correct? Because that's normally they have rice. And what else do you have, Nick? Anything good? I always scrape out the seeds when they are sprouting. It's possible that they could cause an upset stomach. Yeah, that's what I did, because I'm thinking, okay, I'm not too sure. I mean, the tomato looked good otherwise, except for the sprouting seeds. So I just scraped those out and didn't put them in the salad. Growing bananas is weird. Once it grows, they cut the whole plant down, then replace in the stump. I've been watching a lot of stuff that comes from Vietnam, and banana trees, really, there's not much to them. They cut the whole tree down, and they slice it up and cut it up, and they process it and feed it to their animals. So their chickens, ducks, and pigs eat chopped up banana tree. Apparently, it's very good for them. Janice says, I was in the 3rd grade and the teacher asked why I was in a bra. She called my mom about it. Seriously? That's maybe because you had boobs? And you were, maybe you were a little bigger than usual and you didn't have a t-shirt on. I mean, that's really strange. My husband would go on the farm, buy food for the pigs and cows. When ready, the farmer would get it butchered. So, see, that's what I'm saying. People in other countries do things a lot better than we do. You think we would be better, but I don't know. We feed our animals too much crap. In turn, we get stuck eating that crap. So, you guys are lucky that, you have farms, and if you're raising your own animals, that's why I asked you before, Leanne, if you would have the turkeys, are you raising them for food, or is it, pets, or what you said is they're more like sanctuaries. So.
Yeah, we used to eat the turkeys, but what you get after you pluck them and everything is a very small bird. I mean, most of the turkey is feathers, not meat. So the ones you get in the grocery store are specially grown and
fattened up,
crossbred to get big.
I don't know. There's some in the cemetery that we go to here. They're pretty damn big, so they must be eating good in the cemetery. Because even my husband says, "Look at the size of that turkey." I said, "I know, he's huge."
And that happens when they have safe space to live on.
Okay. Yeah, because that's where they hang out, the cemetery. And of course, there's like the deer, same thing. They hang out there because they eat all the flowers. I always joke at everybody. It says, this weekend, everybody's going to be putting flowers at the cemetery. So the buffet will be open for all the animals.
That's good.
They'll all be eating the flowers, but the turkeys are pretty big, so they must be very happy. Alexa says, I'm not a farmer. material. If I take care of an animal, it's a pet. I know I would be terrible at that too. I would feel bad. You raise a cow, you're loving it up, and then okay, it's off to the butcher. I just couldn't do it. Hey, Steve, welcome in. But the bottom line is, if it was a necessity and we had to do it because we had nothing else, then I would have to do it. But that would be the only reason. They are bred to have breasts so large on turkeys that a lot of the domestic ones raised for stores can't even walk. Oh my God. They're doing that with chickens too.
Yeah. Turkeys have to be put on a special diet at a certain point because they will grow too big to walk. They will just drag themselves around on their legs.
Oh, that's terrible. I need to go out. Thank you for a wonderful live and a chat. You're welcome, Joe Beam. You are so welcome. Be careful out there. Because I remember the last time I was looking at chicken breasts in the store, I'm telling you, you thought that it belonged to turkeys. They were huge. And I told my husband, I said, I'm not buying those. I said, because those are pumped up with hormones. I'm not eating that. A chicken doesn't have a chicken breast that's that big. They're doing that with humans as well. Yeah, they are. We're all guinea pigs. Alexa says, I don't eat a lot of turkey meat. You know what? We really don't either. Oh, why? I don't know, but Thanksgiving. Or if we get like a sub, then we'll get a turkey sub, but that's very rare. I mean, Admit says I'm not buying much meat either. We're really picky about that and where we get it. But we got to eat something, right? The older I get, well, I know lately I've just been forgetting to eat, and I took my medicine, Leanne. Boobs, stupid auto. What was it? I missed that. Betty said, I had my friend's mom think I was wearing falsies. It was just young with big boobs. Oh, jeez. Oh, I developed early. I think like 10 years old. I think I was the only girl in my class that had boobs. And then it just kept growing. Alexa says, I kind of have to eat meat, though I'm working out, and protein is the key. The vegan protein isn't the thing. It's incomplete. Yeah, that's what I mean, I wouldn't mind eating, well, it would be more like vegetarian because I do love my vegetables. But I just can't give up certain meat. Lamb being one of them, which kills my husband, but I'm sorry. I enjoy it. It's really good. And to give that all up and eat the stuff that they create to make you think it's meat, it's not appealing. Have you ever had like a vegetarian burger? Hey, Leanne, don't fall asleep on us.
Yeah, I nodded a little bit.
Getting late. She's tired, guys. Actually, it's at the 2-hour mark. We're going to let Leanne drift off to sleep.
I was listening to the food talk and the animal talk, and
she's getting tired.
I was.
That's okay.
I didn't break my neck yet, so we're good there.
Not yet. Yeah, so we're gonna let her go before she does snap her neck. We don't want that to happen. Uh, I want to thank all you guys for hanging out with me and Leanne tonight. I think it was a great chat. I loved having you on, sweetie. Thank you so much for coming on. And let's see what's going on. Today's Wednesday. I'm sure somebody's going to be on later on tonight. But you'll see me again on Friday morning. So hopefully everybody will come and hang out for the morning brew. Until then, guys, always live life a little bit on the raw side. We'll see you guys soon.